Howdy, everyone. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Turn that down a little bit more, I think. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to yet another Thursday. It's Thursday stream time. Hope everyone is doing well. It's Thursday. And I'm not playing a game. I'm not playing a video game. I finished Space Marine. It was actually not that long of a game. It was only like 6 hours long. Maybe five and a bit hours. So, pretty cool. Good game. I'm looking forward to the next one. Hello, Tiny Terrors, Far Off Shores. Excited for the paint jam? Good, good. Yep, the paint jam. Obviously, I announced it on like my community page, but now this is like the official announcement video. So next week, paint jam. Hopefully, we will participate. Hopefully, have a lot of fun with that. Yeah, this week I wanted to do some work on the Screaming Raven custom detachment to try and fix some of the balance stuff and talk through that. I figured I'd do it on the stream because people usually have pretty good ideas. Sometimes, maybe. I don't know. Sometimes they want me to buy 3 Hammerfall bunkers, which is a thought. I do have some painting to do, but I've not really been feeling painting recently. Like, I did a bit of painting yesterday. I managed to finish off another Centurion, which was like halfway done, so that's nice, but I was just like, ugh. It's been a busy week, so I want to do something a bit less, like, I guess setup intensive, but kind of something that I quite like doing, kind of relaxing, so that's why you have this. Which is cool. Yeah. So yeah, next week, Paint Jam. This week, Screaming Ravens. Working on your custom Carnosaur. Nice. Why are the Ravens screaming? That's a good question. Because it's loud, I guess, and it's fun. Kind of just go caw, a cacophony, as it were. Oh no, okay. Gonna go buy 3 big head boss bunkers. That sounds like a idea. Hey, today Skaven OP in the new edition. 1-2 games already. Nice. I haven't. I've got Skaven Tide. I haven't actually built it yet. I haven't built any of it. I just haven't had the time. I do like the look of Spearhead. I do want to try that, and I will hopefully do that in the coming weeks. But it's been very, very busy. As I say every week now, it's just a very busy time for me. Yeah. Make the faction rule give 3d6 on advanced rolls made when moving away from an enemy unit. Interesting. 3d6 advance rolls. Well, so triple advance rolls moving away from enemy. That's it's an interesting one. I think it's probably a bit OP. I mean, fall back and shoot and stuff is the thing. Very scared to get into AOS. I've already spent way too much 40k. I think the thing with AOS, I think the thing that'll probably be like a quote unquote help is actually Spearhead, because I think Spearhead does seem to be quite good, and so you can at least only have to buy like a Vanguard, Spearhead box, and then you could play quite a lot of AOS, and then slowly build up from there, which I think is what they want to do with the Combat Patrol, but didn't really do it properly. So that's why it kind of all fell apart. Yeah, looking at kind of the Spearhead stuff, it does look interesting, like the fact that you got some choice in there. You got the simplified rule set. It's obviously not doing some of the more complicated stuff. Only 4 rounds. It's got the cards that kind of change stuff as it goes. So it is cool. It does look cool. But I do need to just get on and build some stuff. And then at some point I'll have 40 bloody rats to build, which I have a couple of ideas for what to do for videos on. Yeah. Shall we get into it? Because might as well. Which button do I press? That. Ooh, I don't want that to show. I don't want that to show. Yes, here we go. So hopefully you can see behind the chat. I may move that or we'll lower the opacity here. But essentially, this is kind of my document for the rules. I can kind of increase the size as well. Although that does make it go off the board annoyingly. In fact, some of it's already off the bloody. I will have to fix that one moment. How do I do that? Put the Which is the size of it? I think much the size of the whole thing. Apologies. Yes, I think it is just that. And then I do that. And I can... Interesting. It's just gonna kind of be cut off a bit, I guess. So you can see everything that I can see. I'll put it up there. Okay, that's your rat and space breathe. If I wanted to do the rats, I'd do the cheese eater cult army, because that is pretty cool. Terrible at learning rules, let alone helping make them. Gotta get lunch. Alright, have a good day, yeah. I mean, really, it's just kind of idea bouncing. Actually making the rules is difficult. So basically, from the video, if you remember the video, I'm actually covering quite a lot of text. We'll sort it out. There was a couple of enhancements and a couple of stratagems that were a bit broken. And needs fixing. Even with the indirect nerf, the indirect one was still broken. So I've removed that. So I've got the detachment rule here. I want to think of an alternative one as well with you guys. 4 enhancements. I think these 2 probably need replacing, which is a long run up and prismatic flare. We'll get in all the gritty details. I've got 3 shots I'm happy with. 1 I don't really know what I'm doing with. This one, which I think is going to be the main interesting one. And then I've got some idea dumped down here. Screaming over faction specific unit stuff. That's a interesting one, because at some point I do want to do like a full, like with custom like units, like characters and like a Centurion character and stuff. But I haven't got around to that yet. Hello Nando and Panda Marshmallow. Yeah, Echoing Blade, I like Echoing Blade because it's basically just saying you get rerolls on your melee weapons for the model. That one's fine, and it's very Screaming Raven. A long run-up is kind of okay. I might need to... How do I do this? How do I make it so that... I don't want to have to, like, decrease the size like that, is the thing. Maybe I have to. We just have, like, blank space so you can kind of see everything, and I just increase the... Yeah, so if I increase the size, you should be able to see all the tags. Don't have to do it like that, I think. And I can then crop the... that's the right side. There you go. That's a bit better. Swap position for 2 units, pick 2 units with equal power, they get removed from the board and placed in each other's spots. Yeah, I do like that idea. That was one of the ideas I thought of. It's an interesting one. Because the issue, obviously the first bit is equal power. You have to kind of be like, okay, you have to replace model for model. But I did want to do that where it was like basically if neither of those things if 2 units in your army had not taken damage or not done anything, like they haven't shot in or anything, like two units in your army had not participated in the fight, you could swap them. But it was difficult to word in a way that made sense. But I do like that idea. I think it might be interesting for like a detachment rule where you can kind of deploy stuff and then swap the deployments. Stratagem in the movement phase lets you go into reserves and instantly deep strike. That's probably OP, but going into reserves is fine, like the normal way. And I think by using the detachment rule, getting deep strike on that would be good. So it's basically the Vanguard Spearhead one, right, with the incursors and stuff. Swap guns for unit with another gun for war gear is also an interesting one as well because of the mimicry. I like that. To get up to speed if you don't see the video, the detachment rule is the change here is this was like any unit apart from transports. Now it's just infantry. So vehicles, because that was going to cause problems with vehicles. So it's just infantry units. You pick 3 in 2000 point, And on a 1 or a 2, they get Scout 9. On 3 or 4, they get Deep Strike. On a 5 or 6, they get Infiltrate. I've chosen Scout 9. It could be Scout 6 or Scout something else, but Scout 9 in Crusade, there's a rule that lets you add Scout 9 to a unit in Crusade. The same, and then it was replacing the Pariah Nexus one with Infiltrate. So those are quote unquote equivalent. Sounds like Pokemon switch out units. That's it. Yeah, I guess like no, come back. Centurions. So I think changing this to infantry is good. So I am happy with this. However, I would an interesting one alternatives that are also Screaming Raven, because this is like the kind of they're coming from anywhere at any time. Like you say, oh, I have 3 sets of Centurions, 1 has Scout, 1 has Deep Strike, 1 has Infantry. Cool, that's fun. And it means you have to kind of play the game differently. Again, I haven't playtested this. An alternative detachment rule will be interesting. Either some sort of single turn where you're kind of, causing the cacophony and then all charging in at once, like essentially Orc War, similar type thing. Or a reverse power from pain, which plays into how I play, which is turn 1 is really good, and then I fall off. So really leaning heavily into your first turn you hit really hard and then you fall off. Like there's a certain number of rules that you lose as you go through. That might be too much if it's like the first turn you later just like it becomes a stat check then. It's either you kill your opponent or you don't. I think Shred should be able to do something similar with the enhancement. Yeah, I think Dreadnoughts and Centurions are kind of like the main thing, and then fast moving stuff as well. I hope you're happy for condemning me to partake in your paint jam whilst in the middle of the Bayer Biscuit. Well, good luck. Hopefully, it's not too rough, but hopefully you do well. Yeah, so I think Echoing Blades is fine. I think I keep Echoing Blades. Yeah, a couple of enhancements, and then Flicker Field I think is fine. It's very simple. For these strats, I kind of want to keep 4 of them fairly simple. So the first one here, which is just movement phase, just after an enemy unit has got near you. If you're within 9, you can make a normal move up to D6. Which is fine. This was 6 inches. I think changing it to D6 makes sense, and then it's basically just like you have a little bit of movement because it's kind of you're not quite where the enemy thought they were. Yeah, armor. So I've only done 5 strats because one of them is Armor Contempt. So you get Armor Contempt because it's Space Marine. So Armor Contempt is 1, and then 5 others. Supersonic Frenzy is fine. Jump pack units that get +1 to wound in melee. Fairly simple, fairly nice. This one, which was it was like give the vehicle assault ramp, I realized is just the Sky Splinter Drukhari one, so I just made it the Sky Splinter Drukhari one, except I changed Drukhari to Screaming Ravens. That's it. And the Sky Splinter one is infantry. I just made it anything because you could use it on a Brutalis. But rather than it being the transport gets the keyword, when you disembark from a transport, you then spend this to get the ability to charge. Maybe it's like 2 CP if it's a Dreadnought. That's potential. I like the name Overwhelming Cacophony, but I don't know what it does. And then the one that I want to try and work out how to word, and this is the one I'm really interested in, because when I read the Gargants, what they call Sons of Behemoth, and they have the suplex where you can, when you charge, you can pick something up and put it somewhere else. This one, I don't know how to do it, but I want this one. I'm seriously looking forward to whatever they choose for it, even though I have to do Stormforce 10. Yeah, obviously if you're in Stormforce 10 and you're upside down, try not to paint. But I mean, it might fit into the theme. You don't know. Faulty Melt Charge. Vanguard Vets Assault instead of the jump packs gain deadly demise. They just blow up. Took I haters because I got priced out of my apartment. I only get disability now, so room of friend places. No, you could too poor for poor assistance. As assistance meant for people with disability and low income can be too expensive. Huh. I did not know that. That's unfortunate. I hope you do. I hope you get better. It's good that you got, you know, you can stay in a friend's basement. I hope things pick up for you. Yeah, it sucks, man. Hope things get better. Do you want to avoid stuff with leadership debuffs? No, we could do leadership debuffs. That's not too bad. You may force your opponent to move one unit within engagement range of a number of inches in excess of the charge move. Yeah, that's basically what it is. This detachment whole thing is allowed. Want to give a bonus to Titanic units instead of allowed us to the wall. Then I have to buy a Titanic unit. Need to get more money, but I'm disabled, can't work a job, so don't know what to do. Yeah, that's... I'm surprised that the disability, if you're unable to work, doesn't get you anything. Or at least doesn't get you enough to fulfill a housing requirement. Yeah, I guess look into whatever... I don't know where you are, but whatever kind of local assistance there is. So I've got, you know, a couple of friends who are like on that kind of thing, and usually they get at least something enough to get by. Yeah. Sorry to hear you're going through some rough stuff. Yeah, so this one is essentially, if you ever played League of Legends, and I'm sure other games do this, but League of Legends, my favorite character is Poppy. And what she does is she basically slams people into walls. And when you hit the wall, you get stunned. So the idea is you choose a Centurion, a Justine Harry. How's it going? I'm doing alright, how are you? You have a, you charge. Let's say they were 6 inches away, you get a 9-inch charge. You can then push them back the extra 3 inches. And if they collide with a wall, then you do damage. So essentially you can push them back into a wall. And obviously they stop at the wall. And all around they're giving -1 to hit any unit within 6 inches. That's a... Yeah, so something like that would be interesting, actually. That's what I think Overwhelming Cacophony wants to be, which is like essentially a taunt where you you pick a unit and it's like anything that you anything that doesn't shoot at it, like you get -1 to hit any unit that doesn't shoot it or is within 6 inches of it or something like that. I think that's what this is. This is essentially like a taunt debuff if you don't attack the target slash near the target. That's essentially what I'm thinking for that one. Where it's like you're causing so much noise that it distracts people or causes people to do problems. And then this one is the kind of... Because that's not super complex. I basically want these three to not be super complex and this one to be kind of the weird one that might be too strong, but kind of also introduces something different to the game. Obviously, the big problem with this one is picking up other people's models. You have to kind of say, hey, can you move your model that far back? And it has to be in a straight line is the other thing. Because that's the part where you go, oh, I can move you 3 inches, I'll move you sideways. No, I want it to be like you're charging in a straight line. And wherever you charge in, you draw a line from there in a straight line to the where you push it back. But I think it might be too much, which is why I also said vehicle or monster only, because if you're trying to then charge into a unit of like 5 models, it becomes impossible to work out where they all have to go. All targets must attack this unit if possible. Something like that, yeah. Or if you don't attack the target, it's -1 to hit. Or if you're within 6 inches, 12 inches of it, melee range, or, you know, within a number of inches of it, you get -1 to everything else. It's like -1 to hit, that kind of thing. But there are multi-model monster vehicles here. That's true. Yeah, I didn't, because there's stuff like killer cans and stuff. Wonder if the variable pushback might be tricky because it's based on a single model or the unit in full. Yeah, so it kind of has to be like a single model. It's kind of got to be like tank shock, but pushing. It might be too complicated to word, In which case I'm happy to not do it, but I do kind of like that idea of like a Brutalis charges a card effects and shoves it 3 inches back, and if it slams through the wall it does damage. It might be too many components for a stratagem. And yeah, obviously multi-charging then becomes more complicated. Yeah, you can only be one. So I think the target, so this target says 1 Centurion. I think it has to be one model, one enemy model that gets hit. So you could push back like one dude. Obviously you can't put them out of coherency or whatever, but you could charge a model. So yeah, maybe this becomes the target is a model that has been charged by a Centurion or Dreadnought, something like that. Unable to charge any units this turn, something like that. You can charge through walls if you're infantry, but I charging through walls as a Dreadnought I think is okay as well. Maybe that's something that you could do for a Dreadnought, basically like a you ignore terrain for charging. Using a Necromunda. Necromunda has that rule, does it? That's interesting. Time to do some research. Necromunda. Terrain. What is the yeah, I guess what is the kind of thing called? Full charger? I don't know. Hurl. Maybe it's hurl. Yeah, you can kind of throw them in directions. That is the kind of thing I'm thinking of. You're not word it with unit start strength of 1 model. That's also true. Cannonball allows a Dreadnought vehicle to charge through impossible terrain. Charge fails off D3 mortals. So Centurions can go through ruins when they charge, right? Because it's their infantry. So that's not a problem. I guess impassable terrain. I don't think there is impassable terrain, is there? Obviously, you can't stop in a ruin, but you can walk through ruins. Which for Dreadnoughts is great. Like, you know, that's Kool-Aid manning your way, just smashing through a wall. That is fun. That's cool. Unit gets stealth, can't be charged. Interesting. Yeah, one unit has declared a charge on an enemy unit. It was, oh yeah, before Cannonball. So yeah, that... Yeah, so I think this is essentially... In fact, I can pull up... Because I think we kind of need... is it this one? I'm going to hide that. So I have paint here. That I've now ruined. Hello. So essentially the plan is that you have, you know, enemy enemy you. Let's say they're like on an objective, and then you have the wall like here. Let's say that's a 4-inch charge, and that's then in a straight line from there. That's like a 2-inch thing, and you roll a 7. You charge in, and then that gets pushed back 2, and then takes damage when it collides with the wall. I think you have to do it before you roll the charge. Maybe. Oh no, you probably want to do it after you roll the charge, because otherwise you'll just like not roll the number. That's essentially what it is. In my head. Set one friendly unit and roll 1d6 on a 1 to 3. The unit gains the Vanguard Spearhead special rule against the company of it. Right, that's yeah, that's. I feel like this is gonna have a lot of unintended consequences. Because yeah, I think you have to do it before, because yeah, I think it has to be like one of those Hail Mary situations, because you're spending 2 CP on it, and it could really swing the game, because if you push something away from, like, if you get something else out of melee, that's very strong. I think you have to be base to base with it as well, obviously. Well, I mean, obviously. It's going to be very, very hard to rule. I think that's going to be the problem. Like, you gotta... So let's think, what are all the possible consequences of this? Or what are all the things we kind of have to do? So it's a... You have to roll... I think it is too complicated, because you have to roll... You have to take what your roll for the charge is, make that amount of charge... And then whatever's left, you can then use to push them in this straight line, which could move them into or out of other people's engagement range. And if it's a Centurion unit, you've got 3 models there, so which... Maybe this is Walker's own, maybe this is only Dreadnoughts. But then there's nothing for Centurions really in here. I'd like a Centurion strat. That's true, I mean, possibly stealth to give 1 unit stealth keyword. I've kind of got that with the Flicker Field, where essentially you get stealth for a unit. Another idea was from the worst Wi-Fi France has to offer holo decoys, grant 1 battle line unit the stealth keyword when targeted outside of 12 for this phase. Battle line is really restrictive, I think. But it's interesting. I think maybe Centurions. Maybe that's a Centurion one. Should the enemy be able to move the unit, or will it be furthest possible kind of thing? Should the enemy be able to move that unit? Giving an enemy unit a deadly demise is quite funny. like a depth charge or something. I think it's not very Screaming Raven, but it's a very interesting thing to go with, like a depth charge, where you're essentially you put a bomb on an enemy unit, and if it blows up, and if you kill it, it blows up. That would be quite fun. Make it Centurion only. Car, hello Rob, how's it going? Range Centurions gain Melter. I mean, some of them already have Melter, but the Devastator Centurion getting Melter is weird. Because you don't want them to be close. So yeah, that was one of the ideas for, like, alternative detachment rule, was giving Centurions battle line. So you could just take more of them. Not as if, I don't think you could take that many more of them. Because if you think about something like the Dark Angels, there's like 3 different ones, right? So you could have like the Confusion Warfare one, the Heavy Hitters one, and then like the Fast one. There's different detachment rules. I do like this detachment rule. I could think of another one. Some of these rules could become enhancements. And I'd like the idea of the taunt, where you're kind of like either distracting or taking the focus away from a certain unit. Like they're making Centurions only, that Dexterous are even less dexterous. I can see that. I never really thought it was a dexterous thing. I thought it was just like a shoulder check thing. Like you're literally like the Juggernaut. You're literally just running at them so hard that you just shoulder charge them, like you're jumping like shoulder charge them essentially. Not really your current thing, but have you thought while an enemy unit is within 8 inches or 2 or more units to get -1 to hit? That's it. Yeah, that's it. That is another one that I was thinking of, where it's like if you have a certain number of units. Was that in my ideas? Yeah, buffs based on other units being in melee near it or being nearby it. Like if you have, you pick an enemy, or you pick an enemy that has a certain number of units within it, and it gets a thing. Like another one would be stuff like you get plus to charge for other things being near it. Buffs against full health units is also interesting. It's all about like that first hit impact. Like Centurions gain +1 to wound if the target's fully healthy or something like that, or rerolls to wound, or well they already have twinlings, so they don't need that. But natural, maybe in movement phase you could take hazardous tests in exchange for more movement range. Like an overload. That's an interesting one. I'll write that in the ideas for these. Like overload for hazardous checks for extra movement, e.g. advance and charge, but might take something like that, where you, but essentially it's you can advance and charge, but you risk taking a mortal wound or something. An Indica Cacophony, 3 CP, revive 1 dead Centurion unit, put in reserves, limit to once per game. That's another interesting one as well. Oh, you know what would be good actually? Similar to that, I'll put it in the ideas here. But essentially the fact that the thing that you killed was actually a hologram. No, hang on. I've literally just made reinforcements. Never mind. I was thinking of a cool idea, but I've literally just made the reinforcement strat, which I don't think works very well in Space Marines. I think it's too much. Because Children of Dreadnoughts are more rigid. Yeah, they are. I think it's I mean, to be fair, Centurions are, like, looking at Centurions, they're pretty rigid, but it's rather than it being kind of like I guess rather than being like a complicated tackle, it is more literally just force of movement, which is why I wanted to do it based on the extra charge. Essentially, you're charging to a position, it's just that the enemy unit happened to be in the way, so you push it back. That's how I was thinking of it. More of a you problem, you and your opponent swap armies. That's a... The unit cares counters remaining stationary regardless of its actual move or advance. What advantage does that gain? We think. I guess instead of advancing, there's interesting. That's essentially advance and shoot, which could be interesting. Like this one could be as simple as like target Centurion effect, advance and shoot / charge. Like it could be that simple, where it's just like you have Centurions, they get advance and shoot / charge. Might be a bit much, but it could be something as simple as that. You know, I've never actually used plunging fire. I don't think we've got terrain tall enough. I've never seen it used. To be fair, France probably does have a vendetta against you. I don't know why. I just assume France has a vendetta against most things. You got AdMech, it's cool. Nice. Glad you're enjoying AdMech. AdMech are cool. I like the cool models of AdMech, but they do seem very complicated to paint. Could get from Detachment or something. Potentially. Make it like heroic intervention. That's an interesting one. Oh, yeah. You know what would be interesting, actually? Rather than being kind of a charge, it could be a move block. Where... So it's, I guess, instead of... Because we've already got kind of this one. Oh, there is that one. It's the Shalaxi from AOS has one where it's like when someone does a charge or is selected to charge, before they do the roll, you can charge. Maybe that is what it is. Let me find the Shalaxi one so I can remember the wording. I think it's on here somewhere. No, not there. No, not there. I think the easiest way to do it would be go there. I was hoping I could find just a link to that. Excuse me. The thing where it's like, here are all the... I think it's probably going to be able to be here. Surely, yes. Excellent. Hedonites of Slaanesh. Yeah, Sulaxi Hellbane has... I can't show this. But yeah, if this unit is not in combat, so it's once per turn, reaction, opponent declared a charge ability for the hero within 9 inches. If this unit is not in combat, it can immediately move 2d6. If it passes through, it can pass through blah 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 blah. Must end within half an inch of a hero. If it does so, the unit has charged, and the ability charge effect has no effect. So essentially, it is a no, I charge first. I'm French. France has authenticates everyone. Exactly. Pot of Greed, deploy 3 units from Deep Strike. I use Pot of Greed to draw 2 cards. That's what you think? That's interesting. Like I thought the actual like had to make little soldiers seem quite complicated. Make a Dew Crawler, nice. ACB now you don't 2 CP once to ensure a unit into reserve at the end of your opponent's turn. Yeah, so that is that's kind of what the Vanguard Spearhead does, right? When your opponent succeeds a charge, you may choose another Scream Rover unit in range. And if you succeed a charge, you push it each way. That's interesting. That I think then becomes more complicated because then it's a heroic intervention plus the charge thing. If unit falls back to Centurions, you get to teleport back in front of them. No worries, that man. Quick Discord. Ah, yeah. So you've been given some. You've been given this school. Yeah, nice. I knew you'd come through with the information. Thank you. Yeah, I figured when he was asked a question of like, oh, so what are the I guess storm hosts like? I was like, I know just the guy who knows this. If gains fights first is very interesting. I think I changed this. I think I like this idea, but I think it's too complicated. So I think this becomes. I still think it's 2 CP, but it's when. Why am I looking at my OBS preview when I've got the thing right here for actually how to pilot it? So when is your opponent charge when they select a unit to charge a Centurion unit within 9 inches of that of the enemy unit. It has to be Centurion because it's a keyword, and then that is you that Centurion unit makes a charge roll if successful. That Centurion unit charges and the enemy unit does not gain the charge. Does not gain the charge bonus. I like the idea of card effects of demon encroaching on a unit of Ravens only to realize the belief of a weakness was to distract them from charging machine too late. That's an interesting. That could be one around this where it's like, you select a unit and it's like taunted. That feels like a. You could write an entire detachment rule around things being taunted. It's essentially like Tao's marker light, but for other stuff. Whereas rather than marker lighting an enemy, you quote unquote marker light one of your units, and then that becomes like a beacon which gives bonuses around it, which is an interesting playstyle. Gotta go watch films. Love fam. Thanks for joining, Panda. Have a good time watching films. Keywording with Centurions, Gravis, and Terminator. Yeah, that opens up a little bit more, doesn't it? That, I can then just change this, that unit. That unit. That unit. Makes a charge roll. If successful, that unit charges. And the enemy unit does not gain the charge bonus. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think opening up is quite interesting. But I'm obviously very much a Centurions player. But is there a good melee Gravis unit? I guess something like a because this will be really interesting as well because I think this works really well with this, which I think is why it has to be 2 CP. And this will actually be red charge. Aggressors, yeah. Hey, Dark Knight. I'm doing good, thank you. Thunderous Tremor, enemy charge phase. Friendly Centurion unit is target for charge. Halve the enemy's charge roll. That's an interesting one as well. There's a lot of good ideas around that. And again, that could be opened up to the other heavy hitters. Yeah, aggressors are good. Friends Blood Angels with a captain and Gravis Armor. Yeah, I think aggressors with a Gravis Armor captain would be scary with that. And I think making it 2 CP works here. And I think it makes sense that this +1 to wound is only jump pack units. Although, do aggressors count as jump pack units? Because I would worry there. Aggressors. They don't actually. Oh, I'm not thinking of aggressors. I'm thinking of Inceptors, which actually don't. Yeah, so Inceptors have jump packs, but I don't think you care about them in melee. I was thinking of a different one. So that's fine, I think. Yeah, aggressors aren't jump pack. I always think of them as jump pack because I always would take them with Blade Driven Deep. So I always think of them as being jump pack, but they're not. Enemy units become confused again, -1 to the hit rolls. Yeah, that's essentially what I think this is going to be. I think it's like... I think this becomes -1 to hit within X amount of range of a thing. A unit. And then I think that works quite well. So I reckon this becomes... when would this be? I guess it's the opponent shooting phase, right? Oh, it might not even be then. I think it would be your opponent shoot. I guess it's the start of your opponent's shooting phase. Before they start selecting targets about stuff. I think that's probably when you do it. Interesting enough, like, man, you might have missed it, but I was actually looking at Shalaxi as well, which is where this is basically Shalaxi. So the Heatnuts and Slash seem like they have a lot of good ideas. I will go to the index, but I imagine it'll take a while to load because for some reason they're really bad. I'm looking for the... What's the point of Centurions having giant drills? They can't detract from below. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's actually loaded pretty quick. What was it you said? I didn't even read it when I went back to look. Lord of Hubris. Lord of Hubris. Lord. Here he is. Just wait for that PDF to load. The enemy is no longer eligible to declare a charge now since it's an engagement range. Exactly, yeah. So essentially what you're doing is you're basically hitting them before they can hit you. How does a handstand help you get +2 to advance and charge? Maybe the friendlies on objectives? That's a good idea. Forces your opponent to change charge targets. Yeah, because in 40k you declare the charge It's not like Age of Sigmar where you just roll and then hope for the best. Ravens, like Raven, like all player entering war. Yeah, that's what one of the alternative detachment rules I had. You just got hello, Grandpa Jerry. A Lord of Hubris. Pick an enemy unit in combat with this unit. Your opponent must decide whether the target will accept or decline the challenge. Except the target has strike first for the rest of the turn. If this unit is in combat with the target when the target is picked to use the fight ability, all of the target's attack must target this unit or strike last. Interesting. Pick a friendly Myrmidesh, Painbringer, or unit within. It's in combat and holding within 12 inches of this. Roll a dice on a 3+ for the rest of the turn. Each time a model in that unit is slain, roll a dice for each 4+. Yeah, okay, so it's not that one. It's definitely this one, which is essentially you have to fight them. That works really well in Age of Sigmar. I can see it kind of working for it game. You'd have to double up on a charge. You basically have to charge. I wonder if that's a I wonder if that's an enhancement that you could give. Ravens, just Ravens. You can change the target as a strat or enhancement that forces your opponent to change their fight target. Both of them all it is. Yes, I think you are right there. I think like a... How does that work? Let me think. So I get the idea. I'll think about that one while I finish this off. So target is 1. I guess it's just 1 from your army. I guess it's just this. Effect. I think this has to be start of shooting phase. Now, is this... Enemy units within 9 inches of each target of gain and -1 to hit against targets against ranged attacks that do not target the target. But that's horrible wording. Of how have I worded it in other places? Trying to get into Garb, but instantly started homebrewing a Krieg detachment. Nice. Smoke on a touch strat that forces your opponent within 18 inches to want to shoot you. That's... Yeah, that's the other one I was thinking of, actually. Also, let's get close. Yeah, that was... My other thought was essentially reverse... Wait, that's not reverse Vanguard Spearhead, that is Vanguard Spearhead. Oh, I was thinking of the opposite of reverse Vanguard Spearhead, where you get... If you're too close, it becomes difficult to hit. But I like the smoke bomb idea. Because the maintenance centers are so loud that armor repairs itself and bangs together. That's an interesting one. I wonder if you could do a feel no pain, like something similar to that, where it's just like they just shrug it off. Confused allegiance runs to a target enemy unit who's just shared a shot. Have them instead shoot the nearest eligible enemy units to them instead. In addition, it's potentially interesting. I need to change the wording here. So enemy units within 9 inches of the target, which is this, have -1 to hit with ranged attacks that do not target this unit. Maybe. Because this doesn't force them. So this is basically only at the start of the shooting phase. So basically, it's before they start choosing targets. This could be 12 inches to give you a little bit more leeway. I think it has to. I think because you could deep strike something in and then do this. Maybe 9 is fine. I'll keep it 9. This is one. This is also red. Shoot 1 CP. We'll keep it at 9 just to see. But it's not that they can't shoot, but I can have a look at the Nurgle strat. I know there is a Nurgle one, isn't there? The Death Guard? I can't remember. Or is there a Nurgle one? Your opponent's shooting phase just after enemy unit selected target. What Death Guard unit was like? No, that's different. Oh, I guess it's this essentially. I'll tell you what it is. It's essentially this. So at the end of the phase, whenever an enemy unit within 9 inches of this unit makes a ranged attack, does not target the user's attack, 1 to hit roll. That's worded correctly. Protect the nest, target an objective you control, deploying speakers of flashing lights to make the objective intolerable for anyone without proper training, -1 to hit and wound for enemy. I like that. Regular chows. That's Space Marine. Oh. I've clicked on the wrong thing. Okay, Space Marine. What detachment is it in? Their index attachment. I should have read. Which is the Veterans of Long War, right? I'm not seeing it. I might be blind. Oh, hang on. Is this one? No, that's to focus the hatred thing. I don't know. I'll try and find it later. But I did find drop on the transport with an aircraft and deploy on top of enemy units. I was thinking something like an impact thing like that. Start 5-phase target, friendly foe boss tactics units. Remove the unit from the table and place them within 12 inches of the room position. This is just a 12-inch move, right? Yeah, no worries. I'm trying to... Basically, I did find one in the... I think it's this. So it's while an enemy unit is within contagion range of this unit, worsen the ballistic skill and weapon skill or characteristics equipped by models and the enemy by 1. So essentially what this becomes is within 9 inches of this unit. I think worsen the ballistic skill and weapon skill. Yeah, I guess it'll be until the end of the phase. While an enemy I guess it will only be ballistic skill. So it essentially becomes like a contagion. It essentially becomes contagion, but it's a you select it. It's a cacophony thing. So basically, anything within 9 inches becomes worse. Even against the thing, I think even against the unit that you've selected, I guess, because why not? Yes, true. Cannot. I've already got. Yes, you cannot select a unit that's within range of more than one enemy units. Same here as well. I think this is. I think this is obvious, but. Really, a volcano cannon. So we've got. I feel like this one could change, but I kind of like it as well. Essentially, you move D6 when something gets close to you. This one is just for jump back units. You get +1 to wound, which is nice. That's fairly simple. This one is just you can get out of a transport. A unit that's jumped out of a transport can charge. Fairly standard. This is literally the Sky Splinter. So this plays into the kind of fast attack. This plays into the fast attack. This plays into kind of mirage shenanigans. This one is the overwhelming like noise kind of thing. So you can imagine as well, like an enemy, like you swoop in some like a 5 unit of jump pack marines who just start screaming loudly, and then nothing can shoot properly. And then this one is just big tanky dude go brr. So I'm happy with those strats because I want to actually play this. And I think I'm happy with those strats. I don't think any of those seem broken, and they all seem thematic. And then the 6th one is just armor contempt. So I think the next thing. If impossible for me to finish Confused Allegiance due to French Wi-Fi. It's meant to make the enemy shoot the closest enemy to them, but the closest allied unit shoots the initial unit. I think I kind of get it. Moving objective markers is really strong. It seems fun. I do wonder if there's an objective, because I know that obviously Vanguard Spearhead gets the prize thing, the deadly prize. So this I think is fine. Basically, you get to attack fast, or you get to hit better in melee. I don't see that one being a problem. I do want to change this and this. I think this one's way too strong now. I'm going to definitely replace that. And this one's fine as well. Like you basically just get a unit that has stealth, which is fine. Kraken Eater Mega Gargant. I have seen the Mega Gargants. I don't know if I saw the Kraken Eater one. Let me load it up. Because to be fair, that's where the shoving one came in, because it was because of the Mega Gargant suplex. Kraken Eater? Kraken Eater? Kraken Eater. Some game modes have moving objectives. Yeah, some scenarios do have moving objectives. Especially in Crusade. I feel like in... Although I haven't played Pariah Nexus. I don't know if Pariah Nexus has many moving things. Kraken Eater. Get off my land. That's pick an objective, yeah. Yeah, that's move objective. Stuff them in my net. Response capacity models. Units 15 more. Yeah, that's fine. Pick an enemy unit and then roll 3 dice for each roll that is at least double the target's health mob model in that unit is slain. Yeah, so that's the pick objective. Move the target. Yeah, so that is a... hang on. So pick an objective. Pick an objective within 1 inch of this unit to be the target. Roll dice on 2+, move the target, which is the objective, 2d6 to a new position on the battlefield more than 1 inch from all models during future. Yeah, that's a very funny one. He also hurls debris 24 inches. That's pretty spicy. So I'm wondering for enhancements. Ugh. Yeah, moving objectives is very cool. Like, moving stuff is cool, but I feel... I do like the idea of the charge to slam into walls, but I don't think it can be done with the current... It might be something that I'd put into, like, a custom unit or something, I don't know. Psy-pork logical warfare. When facing orcs, paint your centurions red. Melee weapons equipped by the unit have +1 to wound against monsters' vehicles. Oh, that is interesting. Well, I like it, because I like going up against monsters and vehicles. Although, to be fair, I don't think Centurions need help with that. Other things might. Okay, how's it going? Remove it. 2 CP when end your movement phase. Remove the terrain piece. Jesus. Just yeet the terrain. I mean, it is fun. I think I'm happy with the strats as they are. I'm trying to think of enhancements now, because obviously that kind of goes to characters, which would be like... Oh, what's a good... I definitely like the idea, because like someone was mentioning, I like the idea of having like a... choose a different... like the weapon profile can change. That might be too complicated. I don't mind a long runner, but obviously it's kind of very... So these two I don't mind. I usually run like jump pack characters, that's usually what I run. Jump pack characters, tech marines. I guess I haven't done anything with well, I guess dreadnoughts can get like this kind of stuff, right? They can be involved in this, and they can be involved in this if they come out of a Storm Raven. I wonder if there is a tech marine one I can do. I don't have an uppy downy enhancement. But I guess I kind of have. I have some, I guess, stuff here because it's units and all characters. But maybe an uppy downy one, like a. If your unit destroys an enemy unit, you can go into the sky. Adding should charge roll against preferred targets. Essential. Aggressive lance. That's funny. I feel like moving the terrain gets a bit messy. Like actually playing it might be a bit messy. But I like the idea of... Oh, I can't remember what it was. It was, if... Right, I've got to start with that, obviously. If the bearer's unit destroys an enemy unit in melee combat, it can be put into strategic reserves. At the end of the fight phase, because otherwise you could kill an enemy unit whilst being within combat with another enemy unit, and then you could just leave. Howdy, Totally Spy. How's it going? This could also be a stratagem, right? I don't know what you'd call this. Oh, that is the Warp Talon's ability, isn't it? Whoops. Took a day off work, nice. Order Centurions, 30 points, Captain only. Change the T to 7, the M to 4, and the W to 7, give the Centurion keyword. I had ideas for Centurion characters for Screaming Ravens, like a named character. I can't remember what the I can't remember what its power was, but it was something like I can't remember now. It was a fun power. I may have written it down somewhere. I don't know what you'd call this. There's a start as model only when it enemy shooting phase, fight phase, 2 CP, target a destroyed unit, return them to street reserves. More birds for this is that's yeah, essentially that's say reinforcements, right? I feel like reinforcements with something like Centurions, especially if you're giving them this stuff, is nasty. Obviously you can only do it once per game, but still. When you see the charges add 1 attack, 1 strength, 1 damage. That's similar to the Blood Angels thing, isn't it? I feel that's going to be really strong. But helps by overextending. True. Yeah, the Mirror Dance spell... Someone brought this up, and it was one of the ideas I had for the video, where it's like, yeah, you could swap. I think it's really cool. I would love a way. It could be an enhancement. Now, how would you do that? You have an enhancement which allows you to swap place with another unit that has a starting strength of 1. Catch. Target 1 dreadnought in melee with a character. Sorry, the character. The other idea I had was kind of a very silly one, which was essentially like a momentum thing, where if you go in a straight line, you get if you move and charge in a straight line, you get bonuses because you're building up momentum. And I thought you could, or you could do like a you start like a big charge where you have to use the Gasland's slight turns, and that's the only way you can turn. And you got to try and like use that to charge into something, and if you hit something, you get bonuses. You have to like judge whether you'll actually be able to drift into something. Choose to charge terrain, please. 3+, you take D6 mortal wounds. Enemies in terrain suffer X amount of mortals. You can throw your ward. I guess it is similar to Berserker Glaive. I was thinking because the Blood Angels thing is like it's +2 attacks, +1 strength. I forgot about the Berserker Glaive. Although Berserker Glaive is one of the best things in the game. Once per game enhancement mirrors thing, you can just do it in the movement phase and apply usual teleport restrictions. That's true. Like it has like mirror coat or something where. So I think I replaced that. I think I replaced Long Run Up with that. So it's once per game. This is like a mirror coat or something. 20 points. Might be more. You can swap places with another friendly unit which has a starting strength of 1. You cannot target a unit that is in engagement range of any enemy units. I think that's fine. Because I don't think you want to be able to like pull something out of melee. So Trazin does it when something dies, right? Or when he dies, he can take something over. Point blank scream. When you enter the fight phase, 1 unit in engagement range must take a battle shock test. I do like the battle shock stuff. I think is cool because it's one of those things which it's niche, but when battle shock comes up and it's annoying, it's really annoying. Like if you charge into something that's on an objective and you manage to force that. Oh, hello. Hello, Helman. Congratulations on getting a job. Apparently, Nightbot told you used too many M's and too much caps, so just... For some reason, Nightbot yells at people for that, but congratulations. So this is why I'm saying you can't target units in engagement range. Oh, and you cannot use this when you are in engagement range. Yeah, you shouldn't be able to swap a Brutalis into engagement range. Neither you nor your target can be in engagement range. Basically, it's an ability to be able to like move something around to get it to somewhere else. You did not heed the warning, Hellman. Let me unban you. There you go. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you? Third Army Edition rule for Ogre War tribes: they roll dice equal to their unmodified charge roll and deal mortal wounds on every 5+. That was another thing I was thinking of in terms of like doing something with the charge roll, because there was something. It might not be a thing anymore, but there was definitely a stratagem or a unit or something which got more. Nice. What's your homebrew chapter, Hellman? It was, yeah, so it essentially was like the more things that were in engagement range of it, the better your charges were. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, guaranteeing and testing fight phase makes charging an important unit. A gamble, yeah. Smoke and mirrors for number 3. I like that name. Did I think that fits the Scream Raven's tactic of audio warfare? Yeah, overwhelming cacophony, I think, is audio warfare. It's essentially you go somewhere, you scream loudly, and it distracts everything within 9 inches. And I mean, Echoing Blade has the word echo in it. That's kind of noise. Just the overview, I guess, Hellman. If you want to deep dive it, I've got the homebrew thing on my Discord. I can look at it later. Say the speakers any hostile within 6 rounds -1 touch. Yeah, so say the speakers is essentially overwhelming cacophony. I keep scrolling away from it, but you might not have time to read it, so I'll leave it there while I read more of chat. At the start of your command phase, if the model on the battlefield, you collect one of the friendly Necron's infantry character model on the battlefield. If the model is destroyed. Yeah, so that's the one where you can kind of just like destroy it. What's the name, Hellman? Because if it's... I might be able to get the successor based on the name. Maybe. It depends what you name it. To be fair, it might just be me, because I call my thing Screaming Ravens. Guess what? They're a Raven Guard successor. Laser answers. Or Lazarenses, I guess. White Scar? How do I paint with jam? Watered down, probably. You can set the Shadow Queen in combat, but that's the damn Shadow Queen. Exactly, yeah. I think the Shadow Queen being able to do that is fine. I think you should not be able to with Mirror Coat or something. You should not be able to use it to get in or out of melee. On the Order of Saint Lazarus, I guessed. So I thought Lazarus was White Scars because I thought it was like what was it? Joust? I don't know why I thought Laz jousting. I don't know why I thought that. I was probably thinking of fencing. But if it's based on the Order of a Saint, I don't know who Saint Lazarus is though. Is it Black Templar? That sounds saintly. I'm thinking of an infiltrated Phobos librarian swapping with Brutality someone. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it's very strong. Maybe it cannot. But then, what are you swapping it with, right? I guess you're doing it with. You're swapping with a friendly unit. Oh, but unit with a starting strength of 1. So what else are you really swapping with apart from other characters? I don't know. Maybe you just up it to 30 points and make it just a tricky game. Because I guess you could do you could add this to the lieutenant with combi weapon, right? And then you could just swap in a. I guess it depends, right? Maybe you do it where it's like yeah, give us a hint, Hellman. I thought it might have been Black Templar, but yeah, success chapter of the 3 legions that got destroyed on Isfan. I don't. Isfan Raven Guard died there, didn't they? Oh, of all 3 put together. So I don't know what the others are. Raven Guard was one, right? 3 legions got destroyed. I honestly don't know. I don't know the lore that well. 1 enemy unit with engagement range worse than the weapon skill by 1. That could also work as a enhancement. Because we now know with Imperial Agents, not like it was leagues months ago. What do you think will be see on the roadmap? So it sounds like Grey Knights are next year. Was there anything else on the roadmap that hasn't been sorted already? What about... I reckon it's probably going to be like... You know, I honestly don't know. Iron Hands, Raven Guard, and Salamanders. Ah. That sounds interesting. Homebrew Nid fleet based on Hive Fleet Hydra. They got separated in Hive Flying a couple of millennia. First Swarm or Neurotyrant rebelled. That sounds cool. Raven Guard, Salamanders, and Iron Hands. Out of those, who do you think they're the 6th chapter of? Iron Hands? Probably a time restriction for Mirror Coat so you don't switch before an enemy declares a... Yeah, alright, so this has to be once per game in your... at the start of your movement phase. Here we go, right. Start your movement phase. You can swap places with another friendly unit, which is starting strength of 1. You cannot target a unit that is in engagement range, and you cannot use this if you are within engagement range. Both units swapped count as making a normal move. That way, you can't swap and then move. During you're not in. Barracks has Blood Angels next. Okay, I'm all about the roadmap. Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen more of a roadmap. Blood Angels, I guess, make like a smaller one makes sense next after that. Is there anything that would make Miracle unreasonable with just allowing it to swap with any other Screaming Raven unit? The main thing I can think of is like, where do you put it? And I'm also thinking like I feel like swapping places with anything causes problem. I'll tell you what this is gonna have to be. Because you can't do this with transport. As again, you cannot target a unit or with the transport keyword. I feel like this is getting too big. Because I figured what you do, you just swap a Storm Raven. Because that technically has a thing of 1, but I don't think that should really be doable. Maybe it can't be vehicles then. Maybe it's again one of those things where it has to be it has to be. But we want to be able to swap in a Dreadnought. So maybe it's just try it with another friendly infantry or walker. That way it cuts that out, which is good. Hello, Kayan. How's it going? See, I thought about putting this in command phase, but then you get to move afterwards. I'd rather once you do it and then you can't move as well, because that would be too much. Do you still give your models slightly different trim paint jobs? I give them all different paint jobs entirely. Not just trims, but various stuff. The Centurions I'm working on are all based on each of them have their left gun a different color, and some slightly other different accents based on the Legends of Ocarina of Time, the adult dungeons essentially. I guess the songs, because there's like Requiem and Serenade. Wouldn't it be enemies? Which one are you talking about, Rift and Guard, when you said wouldn't it be enemies charge phase, not yours? I might be forgetting something. Miracoat seems fun. Pull a Dio and scream. You thought it was a character. It was me, Gladiator Valiant. That was the other thing. I don't want to have to like suddenly swap in a massive tank. But I think infantry or walker unit that has a starting strength of 1. So it's essentially characters here. But the question is, yeah, what happens if this isn't just if it's just anything? Like, what are the consequences of, say, no, the consequence of that is you could swap eradicators or something. Maybe maybe this is model. These turns to death, target 1 unit when it's your move. One model of yours with the Gen Rage is destroyed. That's interesting. You basically sacrificed a model to do that. The old move swap thing. This one? Pause per game at the start of your movement phase. I think it's fine to be at the start of my movement phase, right? If you do it in your turn, can you not just do it with a regular movement? No, so this is, rather than it being kind of charged stuff, this is essentially, the mirror coat is essentially I can pretend to have been something else, not swap, it's not a charge swap. It's essentially a, it's like Letman says, it's the Shadow Queen from, or Marathi from, Age of Sigmar. It's essentially, at the start of your movement phase, you go, I want to swap these two. Only units with only one model and wound swarmed. Oh, right, yeah, that's not how it works. I think this just becomes model. You can't target a model. There's an engagement range of any enemy units. You can't use this while you are in engagement range. Both models. Stop going to make a model move. You cannot move a model that is... Cannot swap with a model that... is part of a unit. You cannot swap with a model if that. I think just you cannot swap with a model that is in a unit. I'm trying to word this as basically I want you to be able to swap with a model that is I want you to be able to swap with a model that let's say the rest of their unit has been destroyed, but it turns out that the last model in that unit wasn't actually just another incursor, it was the character, and the incursor was somewhere else. Unit composition of war makes sense. How many characters are you running that aren't leading a unit, though? So because I don't mind if it's not like leading a unit, because obviously, let's say you got 5 incursors, none of them are leading a unit. I want it to be, let's say that you have you have a unit of 5 incursors. But I can do it here. I think this might actually. Let me demonstrate what I want to do. So you have these are incursors, right? And then your character is over here. And then your enemy has killed 4 incursors. Okay, unfortunately I'll move the character here because I've just noticed this is off screen. The character is here. And let's say that's like, who cares how far this is away? You have 1 incursor left here. I want it to be a thing where it's like, actually, this incursor here was the character the whole time, and this character here was just an incursor. So I can swap these two, but that obviously doesn't include. There's no like leading unit type thing. Could you do this as a immediate deep strike style thing? They can't go within those 9 inches of any model. You can't swap with a unit that's leading a unit. Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, right. So the thing with that is I've changed it now, haven't I, to model. With a friendly infantry or walker model, so there's no unit thing anymore in here. Obviously, you can't do this when you are lead. You have to be. You would put this on a lone operative. Let's just say that. You would not put this on something that's not lone operative. The VTuber model is very easy to see resolve. Yeah. I do like this model. I think this model has been very fun to use. I think every time people join the stream for the first time or haven't seen the stream before, they do like it. It's the 3rd edition version of Mirror Dance. 2 friendly. Yes, that is useful. Instead of heroes, it would have to be models. 2 friendly Screaming Raven models. the range doesn't matter, or the visibility of the caster. Yeah, so 2 friendly Screaming Raven models. Let me start writing, actually. Once per game, at the start of your movement phase, you can swap places. Pick a friendly... That just should be here, shouldn't it? Pick a friendly infantry or walker model that is not within engagement range of any enemy units. Also, again, starting move phase. If you are not within engagement range of any enemy units, pick a friendly infantry or walker model that is not within engagement range of any enemy units. And then remove both this unit and the target unit on the battlefield and set it within 1 inch of the location that had been occupied by the other model before it was removed. So this is not possible. Turn them to there. It should be this model unit instead of you. If yes, this model is not within engagement range of enemy units, friendly infantry or walker model that is not within engagement range of enemy units. Remove this unit and the target unit from the battlefield and set them up within 1 inch of the location that had been occupied by the other model. I might even change that too, because 1 inch you could get a lot of movement. On the other model, where is removed? 1 inch of location that occupied by the other model was removed. I need to get Pac-Man's thing back up. How did they explain? Was removed from battlefield and not within engagement range. And not within engagement range of any enemy units. Another Homer on their corpse, suddenly Dreadnought. Oh yes, once per battle. Thank you. As close to possible instead of yes, I think that's correct as well. Set them up as close as possible to the location that had been occupied by the model before it was removed, and not within engagement range of any enemy units. Fight phase, target 1 unit that was just destroyed. Once per game, when unit is destroyed, fight phase had for nuclear themselves into engagement range. Yeah, I think they've used this before. I mean, I've repeated the phrase "not within engagement range" a lot, but I think it's needed. A model cannot remembrance. A model cannot be placed if it would not How do I phrase this? I basically want to say you can't do it if it's going to put a model out of unit coherency. A model cannot be selected as a target. No, a model cannot be placed outside of unit coherency. I basically want it to be so you can't, if you've got the 5 incursors, you can't pick one of those and chuck them away and kill them. Yeah, this is actually it, Dragon. You give this to something like a lieutenant with combi weapon, or someone said like the infiltrating Phobos thing. Yeah, actually, this works perfectly because it said a model can't be placed outside your coherency. So if you are leading a unit, you cannot be placed outside of your coherency of the unit you are leading. So this actually covers both eventualities. It covers you trying to swap a unit out of a thing, and it covers you from trying to swap out of a unit you are currently leading. Which bit is phrased weird? I reckon this could be 20 points. 25 points? 20 points? 25 points? 20 points? I think I've used the word supersonic before, haven't I? Yeah, supersonic frenzy. This is why it needs to be phrased the way it is. I think this covers all the eventual things. So, once per battle, at the start of your movement phase, if this model is not within engagement range of any enemy units, make a friendly infantry or so not having starting strength of 1 means you can't swap out or... So let's say with the incursors, if you have 1 incursor left, you can't swap it because its starting strength was not 1. And I think individual units don't have a starting strength. If it's an individual unit, your starting strength is your wounds characteristic, which I think is the problem. So you pick a friendly model that is not within edge units, remove this unit and the target unit from the battlefield, and set them up as close to possible to the location that has been occupied by the other model before it was removed and not within engagement range of any enemy units. If this is not possible, return them to their original positions. A model cannot be placed outside of unit coherency. Because the starting strength of 1... Yeah, there's no real way to say... You could... I think someone said, like, unit composition 1, but I like the idea of being able to say, like, oh, that one... I keep saying incursor because it's one that's on my head. That incursor was the character the whole time. And that's very Screaming Raven using that kind of mimicry. Unit containing 1 model would work as well. But I like that. But I like this. Unit containing 1 model would work actually because that's the same thing. But model, I think, solves the problem, and then you just use this. Because this also, because someone else pointed out, if you are leading a unit, if you don't have this, you could yeet yourself outside of that unit. And then you'd be out of unit coherency and cause all sorts of problems. The thing I want to do is actually give this to someone else to try and play. Because, obviously, a very simple testing thing. And something as a DM as well, if you ever want to try things. So, I understand what I mean by this. But someone else... If I give this to someone else who's never read this before, they'll read it and they'll probably come up with something that will cause a problem. Like, immediately. Maybe switch to Screaming Ravens. Target 1 unit deploying from unit reserves. They gain Deep Strike. So, within three, if you couldn't shoot, would be fine. Anything like Deep Strike related, I think gets covered by the detachment rule. I want this to be like, the name here to be like Swoop Master or something, where it's like you're the hit and run or like a not drive-by, but like it's essentially like an eviscerating flyby, but not eviscerating flyby. Yeah, if you ever played D&D as a DM and you come up with a Screaming Ascent, I kind of like. Although that sounds like a stratagem name. Like, this is an enhancement you give to a character. Doesn't coherency always apply? I don't need to state it. I don't want you to be in a position where you could purposefully kill a model to get an advantage, essentially. Again, going back to the 5 incursions, without this, you could technically... Although maybe that's already part of it. I haven't actually... Maybe there is a thing that says you can't put something out of coherency. Because I guess you can't when you, like, deep strike something in. You can't just place something in a random place to get it out of coherency. I guess putting it here because it's such a weird interaction, at least kind of keeps it... Kind of says, hey, don't bother having to try and argue with this one. If it's out of coherency, it's out of coherency. Yeah, I made a Holocaust place with guys. Exactly, like, as soon as you make anything, you have the idea of how it's going to be solved, and then as soon as it hits the players, they completely break it because they come up with something different. Or a puzzle which you have the solution for, they never work out the puzzle, but some people work out the puzzle immediately. I'm thinking of Keen Motorist. I like that one. Feather of Laplace. I like the idea of, like, that you come in, you hit something, you destroy it, and then, like, there's like a blur or something, and then suddenly they're not there anymore. But I've thought all the way from the last time you presented your Homebrew that you could possibly have indirect fire strike. It was 2CP and only usable units that arrive from reserve this turn. Like the visual it creates of a unit arriving from unexpected angle doing basically a drive-by. Yeah, I kind of like that as well. And I think with indirect now being nerfed, you could do it. But I also felt like it didn't quite fit the theme. I think by doing something like that would be really cool. Teleport grenades. Like, what is... What's like a physical, or not even physical enhancement? I'm going to call this Mirror Coat just for now. Because I also want to put this into like a proper document with like fluff as well. Yeah, I've not heard of a Laplace Demon. If some creature knew everything's position and motion at one moment, then the laws of physics would give it complete knowledge of the future. Notable publisher. If someone knew the precise location and momentum of every atom in the universe, their past and future values for any given time they tell, they could calculate from the laws of classical mechanics. Covering theories in the decades following suggested that some elements of Laplace's original writings are wrong or incompatible with our universe. For example, irreversible processes in thermodynamics, such as Laplace's demon could not reconstruct past positions or moments from the current state. I'm not gonna lie, that man, that is big. That's huge brain. That's massive brain. I will need to read into that. That sounds interesting. But that is the thing. What is it like? If you can determine something's location and its if you can determine its speed, you can determine its location or something. It's some physics thing. Fight and flight. I want it to be something like you go in there, you like rip them apart. You rip your enemy apart, and then in that kind of haze of gore, you disappear. It's essentially a gore smokescreen. So enemy distraction prevents an enemy from falling back out of combat. Yeah, something keeps something locked in combat. There's a lot of good ideas. This is the thing. Like, there's so many good ideas. Like, something keeps things locked in combat. I didn't really explore like stuff about, you know, having extra damage against things that are like max health. Crimson Cloak. Was another word like a cacophony? Let's do the classic cacophony synonym. Katzenjammer, that's a great word. Hullabaloo. I think I've used the word dissonant. Did I not use dissonant? Could be dissonant something. I like the word dissonant. Crimson Overture is a great name. Mantle, Crimson Mantle. Yeah, Echoing Blades, Mirako, Flicker Field. Yeah, I'm kind of there's a name there. Screaming Ascent I kind of like. Is there one of these Screaming Ascent instead? No, maybe not. This could be Screaming Descent. That used to get Screaming Descent or Screaming Ascent in there. This is Screaming Descent. Maybe so. Yeah, maybe just some like Gorstein Bant or something. Unkind Conspiracy is a good name. What's the thing from Halo called again? It's the active camo. It could be like gore fueled. Now I've got to start camouflage. Is that how camouflage? I could be completely wrong. I think the U's in the wrong place. No, I got it right. Hell yeah, I can spell. Could be like that. Gore fueled camouflage. Locationally challenged. That's a great name. See, I can imagine putting so this, I think, is kind of like one of those ones where it's like, hey, you can, if you want to spend it, it's fine. This, I think, you probably take. I promise. I think Mirror Coat is an auto-include, just because of the kind of shenanigans you could pull with it. It might need to be like really expensive. What's the most expensive? Oh, you know what would be even easy to find this? We go to the field manual. Enhancements. What's the most expensive enhancement? 30. I think 30 is the most expensive, right? I don't see anything above. I don't think there'll be anything above 30. Oh no, there's a 40. What's that on? Gashram Ratarum has a 40 point. What is it? What the hell is it? Let's have a look. Kurov's Aquila. Officer model, gain the following each time your opponent targets a unit from the stratagem. Okay, so it's a Lord of Deceit thing. I guess that used to be different, because obviously they've made those all the same. That one's 30. What's that? 35 in Black Templar. Okay, so there are things higher than 30. There's one for 40 in Chaos Knights. All the ones in Codex Chaos Space Marines are super cheap. There's nothing higher than 25, which is interesting. Okay, so I could up that to 40 quite easy. Yeah, there's one in Death Watch. That's fine. I was just checking there wasn't like a Imperial Knights have 5 enhancements? Why? Yeah, there's a 35 there. Okay, that's fine. I'm happy with that. So I will change this to 40 points. I think it has to be expensive. Pie Cloak, I do like that. I think you move after doing mirror. You shouldn't be able to. Oh, I removed. Yes, I removed the thing. These models count as having made a normal move. I had that in there before, but I removed it. Thank you. So I've put it here, so basically if they do swap, it counts as make a normal move. If they don't swap, you return them, and they haven't counted to make a normal move, essentially. Tower 25 point has literally does nothing. Yeah, it's because they changed a bunch of stuff, right? So it literally does nothing. So I think that counts. I think that's fine at 40 points. I think 50 is too much. But I can see me giving this to a Tech Marine. Oh no, that'd be great for a Tech Marine. Oh, because you could... If it's next to a vehicle that gets destroyed, you swap it with something that's near another vehicle. You'd need a lot of vehicles to kind of do that, a lot of individual characters to get that to work, but that is interesting. Gore-fueled camouflage. That's fine for now. Flicker field I'm happy with. I don't think I need an alternative for now. I do like this, but I think I need to play it to understand, like... Because I can give infiltrates to... Yeah. It'll be all around kind of this. Giving infiltrate to stuff and then causing this would be interesting. Because of course you can hide something 9 inches out the way. And Screaming Descent, I think this is fine. Because you could put these things in weird positions and stuff. I think I'm gonna playtest this one. I think this is what I'm gonna go forward and playtest. And I'll let you. I've got a lot of things I need to playtest. I'll actually just play some games. I've got a lot of stuff to do. Bloody hell. And I'm working on another video at the moment, which is completely unrelated to anything we're doing today. But thank you for joining me today. And thank you for the help. That was really useful, actually. I think we've come up with some cool stuff. Want to take a page from Death Guard? I mean, that's literally no joke. Overwhelming Cacophony is literally word for word Contagion. That's literally what it is. It's just Contagion. Yeah, I will do a battle report with it. I've got a few other ideas I want to do games for. But no, thank you very much for sticking around. Go watch the my latest video if you haven't already, and also the Paint Jam thing because views. I'll be back next Thursday. I'll probably do some painting. No, maybe not painting. I'll do something. I'll probably be reviewing stuff next Thursday because I haven't done that in a while. Because that will be when the Paint Jam starts, and I don't want to do my Paint Jam thing on stream. I want to keep that secret. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. But no, thank you very much for watching, everyone. If you did enjoy this, good like it. I don't know stuff. Centurions having full damage would be very funny as well. Yeah, see you next Thursday. Thanks very much for watching. And I'll see you next time.